The Bitcoin bottom is close according to what I'm going to be showing you in this video, but it's still a very, very hazy picture. So there's a lot to go through here, and I'm excited to go through it with you all in this video. If you are as excited as I am, do me a favor and smash up the likes as you come into this video. Make sure you're already subscribed if you haven't done so already. And let's get straight into it, because here's the thing is there was this Fed announcement just yesterday. Those of you who are paying attention to news may or may not know about it, but just want to give you a very, very quick overview of this because it is absolutely essential. You guys know the deal. I don't like to pay attention to real world events with my technical analysis because A, it's manipulated, and B, it clouds my judgment. But this is important. It has real consequences. What is this? This is about interest rates getting raised. If interest rates gets raised, less loans are going to be taken out because they're more expensive, and a lot of people take out loans. A lot of big entities take out loans in order to buy assets, buy stocks, for example, which means that you're seeing potentially dwindling future demand because there's less incentive to buy stuff if interest rates are poor. That has an effect on Bitcoin because generally if conventional markets are going to be affected by things like interest rates changes, Bitcoin is going to be weak. So generally after those kind of events, we actually tend to see dips in Bitcoin and the S&P 500. This is really, really important. I'm going to show you exactly why right now when I bring this chart on screen, because it's going to make a lot of sense for where we are in the market at the moment. It's to do with this chart right here. Every red line that I have on this chart right now represents when the Fed announced interest rates being raised. And this time what they said is that they are not going to change them right now, but they might change them and increase them in March. So that's a bearish thing. There are 7 occasions where it happened if you count these 7 red lines, and on I believe it's 5 out of those 7 occasions it resulted in drops in the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is these candles, so no drop here, a drop over here, a drop over here, no drop here, a big drop here, another drop here, and a very big drop right here on the S&P 500 if you just trace the time. Similar case for Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually shoots up here, but it drops after this one, it drops after this one, it drops after this one, and after this one, and after this one, and after this one. So Bitcoin, it only has one instance where a Fed interest rate piece of news doesn't really affect the market, but every other time it's affected the market badly. So this is looming over the market. We have to, this is a point blank fact. It's acted on the market during, I gotta make this clear, this acted on the market during bull markets and bear markets. Now, the important thing to keep in mind is that it doesn't necessarily mean the end of the world, right? I mean, we might see a temporary dip and then we recover. Very, very important. So I'm not saying that this is going to mean that Bitcoin crashes down to bloody $2 or anything like that, but just be aware of it because this is real and it affects the markets, and it probably will affect Bitcoin again because the most recent announcement happened like something a little bit, what have I done here? That is the wrong thing. The most recent one happened something a little bit like here, and obviously the dump coming directly afterwards. Very, very important note right there. But if we bring it back to the chart that we're looking at right now, the good news is that we have actually fallen into an area of support, right? You guys will remember that on the initial drop down, Bitcoin was actually finding a little bit of support in this range that I was outlining for you all on this YouTube channel between $34,000 and $36,000. This was an area of a few key reversals, support hits, resistance hits throughout summer of last year, and it was somewhat important towards the beginning of last year as well. Very important this time around though, for sure. We ended up seeing a nice reaction rally. Again, this is the same reaction rally that I was expecting with you guys in these videos. We knew this was coming. I mean, if you're subscribed, you'll know all about this. It was an 18% pump, which is pretty nice, but my problem with it is that even though it was 18%, and we knew this would happen, right? I mean, like I said, I was saying, like 20% move very much on the cards. It didn't break any key levels of resistance. Before I even talk about this support hit, I just want to show you what's happening with the Ichimoku cloud right now on the 1 hour time frame. Take a look at this right here. We did briefly peak above the cloud pretty nicely, but we have now been completely sent right back down. The rejection was actually pretty steep from high down to low. That's a 9% drop in about, less than 10 hours, something like 8-9 hours. And from there, we are now potentially finding a little bit of support inside of this green Ichimoku cloud, which is absolutely great, but the cloud isn't very strong. The good news is that we are potentially bouncing off this range, and I'll talk about that in just a second because this is more of a bullish video, right? I'm talking to you about where Bitcoin might be bottoming, so just stick with me until I get to that part that is coming very, very soon. The other thing, though, that I am still worried about is if we look at this on a larger time frame, like the 4-hour time frame, we haven't even hit resistance here, and it lines up with the very same area of resistance that I was showing you in my most recent Bitcoin video. Again, those of you who are subscribed will know all about it. When we see multiple different indicators, tools, analysis, how do I call them? Indicators, methods even, lining up and telling you that the same thing can happen at the same place at the same time, you've got warning shots right there. You need to pay attention to them. And right now with this resistance range, for those of you who weren't in the loop or didn't watch that most recent video, this is to do with Bitcoin's quite large falling wedge pattern. If I hide the indicators here, 1 second, this is to do with this falling wedge pattern with this support line and this resistance line. This is generally a very bullish pattern, right? Last time it broke out massively for Bitcoin. The time before that, it broke out massively for Bitcoin. This is generally a very, very bullish pattern, but unfortunately we backtested it as resistance here, which in and of itself is fucking terrible. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, guys. I am still very bullish long term on this market, but as far as bad signs we could have gotten in the short term, this is right at the top. Honest to God, this is a very, very bad sign in my opinion. And if we throw on the Ichimoku cloud at the very same time, this is quite a large cloud offering resistance to the market. The last 3 times that we traded in or near the cloud, we got quite harsh rejections. So we haven't even hit the cloud yet, but if we do somehow kind of manage to rally into this range by the end of the month over these next couple of days, potentially reaching levels around the mid 37k region, we can expect a little bit of resistance there, lining up with this very same support, previous support flipping into resistance, and this Ichimoku cloud offering a little bit of resistance to the market. Not only that, but if we look at momentum, we didn't even clear 4-hour momentum on this chart. I was actually quite certain that we would be able to clear this resistance, and I was saying we're probably going to trade up into this green box. We nearly did. We got really close, by the way. My green box starts at 39.2 and we peaked at 38.9, like $200 away. So we nearly did get into my range, but I was more confident that we'd actually trade in it a little bit. We didn't do that. We didn't even clear the 4-hour EMA ribbon with any candle closes. So that's going to tie into my analysis of this support, ladies and gents, because I get it, right? Like, we saw a nice reaction rally, but this is the problem when we see such a big dump like this, right? This was quite a big dump if we measure this from percent from high to low. This is a 24% drop in 4 days. When we get such a big drop like this, even very strong reaction rallies going up by 18% in, very, very short spaces of time, just a couple of days, is amazing, but we're still going to be facing a lot of resistance because of how much we dropped, and a lot of people don't pay attention to that. We even saw the fear and greed index reflect this, right? I mean, we had a reading of 23, now we're at a reading of 20, so it's not, look, we're definitely not getting bullish, and I showed you last time we had a similar pump, we actually shot up to neutral levels on the fear and greed index, right? So people really getting very comfortable with the price action at those points. So we're not doing that right now. We're still leaning in the right direction. People are still feeling quite bearish overall, which is what we need in order to, drive out those final weak hands and cleanse the market. Obviously, as usual, the wealth gets transferred from the poor to the already wealthy who happen to be patient, and, a lot of people falling for that trap, unfortunately. But the bottom line here being that we didn't manage to clear resistance despite such a big drop. We got rejected at a very, very key area of resistance. We didn't even meet other areas of resistance on the 4-hour time frame, for example. The 1-hour time frame, the 1-day time frame as well, resistance is still quite far away. Not only that, but if we look at the Ichimoku cloud, it's also very far away and just at about $43,000 right now. So we have a long way to go in order to turn this thing bullish again. I mean, this is one of the key things I was saying is, yes, like short term, of course, if we manage to get above $40,000, we're flying. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. But to really get back in the swing of things, we got to break the Ichimoku cloud. And, at the moment, towards the end of February, that resistance is at 51K. Right now, that resistance is at 54. So we're really far. We got to nearly bloody double the price in order to just be bullish according to the Ichimoku cloud right now. So look, I'll just put this on your radar. Don't shoot the messenger. If this stuff upsets you, get the fuck off the channel, because this is not for you. If you don't like to entertain ideas where your investments could be dropping, you're too weak, you're going to lose your money if you stay in here. You already know the deal. We don't entertain pussies around here that cannot stay rational. You know the deal. This is it. This is the channel. If you're offended, leave. This is it. No space for snowflakes. No space for being politically correct. Gonna say it to you like it is. This is straight up, coming straight from the heart. Here's the thing about the support, is because we didn't manage to reach these areas of resistance or pass them very well, I'm concerned about how this bounce is going. You know, if we look at how the actual bounce went on the 4-hour time frame so far, we're not seeing a lot of buy volume right here, but we are seeing a lot of sell volume. Not only that, but this rally that we've seen off the support level, you know, the support hit started at a good place. You know, like, I'm glad we didn't penetrate all the way down into this range. That's nice. We only dropped, you know, a little bit into this range, which is good. But if we measure the rally up, it was a 5% rally, which happened in about 12 hours, which in itself is fine, but we're already losing that fairly quickly. If we look at this on the 1-hour time frame, for example, we're actually dropping down a little bit faster than we were rising up. Not good signs. We are still at support, so I don't want to be too pessimistic about this, but if we do lose this red line at $36,000, it's going to be a pretty easy drop down to the bottom of this range, which is at $34,000. So I just want to put that on your radar again, just so we're all aware of this stuff. This stuff shouldn't be concerning, right? I mean, when we do stuff like this, it's so healthy for the market. I mean, the market really is being cleansed out right now. We are seeing a little bit of a reaction rally from altcoins right now, for example, looking at Ethereum, which, by the way, has nearly fallen down to my buy level. You guys who have been sticking around for a while are going to remember that, you know, I don't just trade Bitcoin, by the way. I trade shitcoins, I trade Ethereum, whatever the deal is. You know, when it looks bullish, I'll trade it. When it looks bearish, I'll trade it. You know, you guys know that I bought my Ethereum down here, sold half of my tokens up here, still holding on to the other half right now, actually, and looking to potentially buy right in this range. So it's right back down to my buy area, which I was saying we would probably hit when we were way higher, and nobody believed me. This is what happens when you stay rational as a technical analyst. You will have a lot of enemies. People will not like you, but you're going to be fucking rich. That's just what it comes down to. If you're here to hold hands with people, be in agreement with people, feel a sense of camaraderie because you didn't have it while you were growing up, you're going to be poor. You're going to be comfortable with your friends, jacking each other off to price predictions of $1,000,000 Ethereum tokens and stuff like that, but you ain't going to be rich. If you want to jump inside of VIP and see exactly what real trading looks like, day in and day out, week in and week out, with real thought processes here. Like, I actually respect my money. I've been around for nearly 5 years in crypto, and I've been trading well for what I would consider for nearly 4 years now. I've been able to do it because I've learned from my mistakes. I've studied a lot of things. I've had a lot of amazing mentors. You know, I've read a lot of books and so on. Some of them are linked in the description, by the way. If you want to see the product of that and how that translates into trading right now, while this market is very hot, you're getting 50% off. These are some of the best prices that we will ever offer because Bitcoin is already down 50% against the dollar. So you're getting really, really cheap access into VIP right now compared to where it was before. If you want to jump inside, all you got to do is follow this first link on screen right here. Click on this @4flies button at the bottom of any post instead of 4flies gold, and then click on send message to ask me how to join VIP. You already saw this testimonial right here with this member joined VIP on January 18 and then managed to pay off her fee within the first 4 days. January 22 coming back within the first 4 days, mentioning that our profits have already paid off for the cost of VIP. I'm a girl, but I have bigger balls than most of these pansy men. I love this testimonial. Again, it's got a lot of sass. Just want to show you another one that was just forwarded to me today. This one is even more impressive, believe it or not. I don't know how that can happen, but take a look at this one right here. This person showing a trade on Matic. You guys know I was analyzing a little bit of Matic. 40% profit right here, and this person mentioning that his yearly subscription has been paid off in less than a day. This person closed their Matic short position at roughly $15,000 profit, running a Cardano position right now for a further push down. Thank you for the lessons so far. I'm in no rush to run another trade, patiently waiting. You're talking about winner mindset, thousands of dollars paid off and earned, and paying off your entry fee within a day, within less than a day. Very, very impressive results. This is not the first time we've seen results like this. You've seen stuff like this in VIP a lot if you've been sticking around for a while. So if you want to jump inside, now is your chance. You're getting 50% off. Don't sleep on this thing. At least find out what the details are if you haven't done so already, again, just by following these 3 quick clicks. This is going to put you directly in a chat with me. So if you want to talk to me, get the details about what's going on, again, this is the only way to reach out for that stuff. I'll see you on the other side. Let's bring it back to the analysis though. Like I said, altcoins starting to look a little bit nice, but broadly speaking, what we are seeing is this weakness in the market, right? Again, you look at Cardano against Bitcoin, had a massive shoot up. It's lost all of it now. Very, very sad. Honestly, I didn't think that this would happen. I thought we would at least find a bounce off this level. Very unfortunate. But again, we move it back to the chart and see what this translates into is, yeah, potentially quite a bit of volatility to the downside. And this brings me on to where Bitcoin could be bottoming out, because here's the thing is that, yeah, like I said, this bounce right here, I'm not super convinced by it. I'm not a huge fan. And it's primarily because, you know, like we've struggled at resistance so much. The bounce we have now is meager. The volume is weak, was weak. The reaction volume where we're dropping is stronger. Again, on this drop right here, look at the volume that we managed to pick up. Even on this move right here, right? When we first started rallying up, when we were first rallying up right here, look at the volume that we had, right? It was quite a bit of volume. I mean, this is Bitstamp, so I actually can't count this candle because this candle was a scam wick and it's not like real trading. This candle wasn't, this wick was not reflected on other exchanges. So unfortunately, I can't really pay attention to that. But you know, bottom line here is that, you know, we did see quite a nice peak in volume right here. But then again, the red volume we see, it just totally eclipses that volume. Look at this. We didn't even get that high on our green volume. Red volume comes in, eclipses it. We start rallying up again right here with this move up from, you know, 36 all the way up to about 37.1, 37.2. And again, red volume eclipses it. It's a brutal story. I don't like saying this. Honestly, I feel bad saying this. I love Bitcoin to bits, right? I mean, I still hold a lot of it. I didn't panic sell any of it. You know, and I'm not going to, because I fully believe, I've been in this market for years, I fully believe we're gonna, you know, top those all-time highs again, if for no other reason, because this sell-off is very irrational. We're not actually selling off because Bitcoin is a weaker asset. For fuck's sakes, Russia just legalized it again, because I like to go in their cycles like China of banning it and legalizing it, because idiots who read the news will believe it all the time. This is why I tell you guys I don't pay attention to real-world events. It's so manipulated, ladies and gents. There's so many lies, it's unbelievable. And you only know the lies which are obvious, right? You only know the lies when you're paying attention to them. You know, it's like, it's the same reason why, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a massive student of history. I love history. I love studying history. It's one of the best things any human can study, in my opinion. But if you look at how much lies there are in the news right now, how can you trust what was written in history books? You know what I mean? That's why I don't like to pay attention to that stuff. But these numbers, they can lie, but they don't lie that much. Gotta be honest with you, they can lie a little bit, but they don't lie as much as the news and so on. But anyway, bottom line, Russia just legalized it again. What is it? Rio de Janeiro announcing that 1% of their treasury going straight into crypto now. El Salvador facing regulatory issues from the IMF about accepting Bitcoin as legal tender and so on, but they're fighting it. Bitcoin is getting stronger. It's a very important note. I think a lot of people are losing faith in this because they didn't actually buy Bitcoin because they believed in it at the first point. This is a very important note. You need to understand why you are in the market and by extension why others are here. NFTs are a great example, or any resident shitcoin. Nobody would be interested in them or talking about, but the white paper is cool and they have a good team of founders, and no one gives a fuck about that stuff if there's no money involved. And you know, that's why I think a lot of people have been able to panic sell their Bitcoin here, is they didn't actually care. And as soon as Bitcoin stopped doing what they bought it to do, which is make them money, they jumped off the ship that appeared to be sinking. This is what Bitcoin is. This is how any irrational, you know, almost like, it's not pyramid scheme, but like almost like, you know, like very irrational, speculative, that's the word I'm looking for, speculative market operates. As soon as that reason to speculate is gone, i.e. the reason is I want to make money, if Bitcoin is falling, I'm not making money, so I'm going to sell it, you start to see really, really irrational price drops, right? That's why, you know, NFTs and shitcoins are dropping so hard. You guys probably saw my Shiba analysis just yesterday. Again, make sure you are hitting up that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, because I was talking about how this thing is probably going to drop like a stone. We already knew this was going to happen way back on this YouTube channel. I was telling you this when it was at its literal, very, very close to its all-time high. You know, a lot of people did not believe me back then. My God, you better believe I had all the Virgin army on me for Shiba right here telling me, no, their investments are going to go to the moon. But obviously, you know, truth prevails and comes out in the end. It takes some time. That's the bitter thing about being right in these markets is, you know, it'll take time for people to realize, and oftentimes they've already quit because they've given up before I can take credit for it. But that's just my first world problem, I suppose. I'll have to find a way to sleep with that. I'll wipe my tears with the money I have from actually being a rational trader. How about that? Savage Sammy stepped in today, ladies and gents. If you think this is a good idea, smash up the likes. If you don't like it, let me know in the comments as well. But if you think it's cool, if you think it adds a little bit of sass, I need my furry jacket right now. Where is it? It's right in front of me. If you think it adds a little bit of sass to the videos, then yeah, let me know in the comments. Let's talk about where it can find support. But before we get there, bottom line, just spoil it for you. I think it's between 30 to 31k. I'll talk about that in just a second. The thing is, you know, if we fail this red line, like I said, potentially down to 34. If we fail this red line, I'm looking at going down to 30. Even more so now because we faked out before. You know, we faked out before for a couple of hours. And I mean, we can get fake outs. It's not like this range isn't as obvious that we're gonna drop down to the very bottom as other ranges. It's still fairly obvious. It's not as obvious as dropping from, you know, 40 down to 36, for example. That was very obvious. You know, but again, 34 down to 30, 31, I think, you know, makes a lot of sense. And I would expect that if we penetrate below this red line right here, we are probably headed down there. So just keep your eyes on those price levels right there. Why do I think that we're potentially looking at bottoming out right there? Let me just pull up my notes because I forgot. Oh yeah, it's the 100 week EMA, moving average. So let me show you that on a different chart. We'll use the BLX chart. If you don't already know, this is a chart with a lot of price history for Bitcoin that goes back years. Let's wait for this to load up. I'm having some issues again. Let me turn this off. Sorry, I gotta do this. But anyway, we're 21 minutes in. You know how I look now, so we're good. Let's show you this chart right here, and all I want to do is, hang on, these are the wrong moving averages. I'm going to throw some different moving averages on here, which is going to be the 100 week, and I'm going to make it a thick line so you can see it, and I'm going to make it yellow because I like yellow. If we look at this on the weekly time frame and zoom out onto the logarithmic time frame, we can see that this on this chart, the 100-week moving average is painted right here. If you don't know what a moving average is, you should pause the video now and Google it. It's also in the 𝗧𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗦 Academy course, by the way. Those of you taking advantage of a 50% discount, you're going to get access to my free 𝗧𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗦. It's not free, but you're going to get access to that course for free, depending on which plan you take. And that's where I'm going to run you through every single tool, analysis, indicator, strategy, whatever that I know that I use, from A to Z. I mean, you can be a total beginner, you can be experienced, you're still going to learn stuff. There's a lot of stuff in there. If you're not learning stuff every day as a trader, then you're an idiot. You're point blank, you're an absolute idiot. Like, that's not how trading works. Like, you have to be learning stuff every day. A lot of people think they know it all and then they stop. And if you look at them like over time, you'll see that those are the ones that fail. Just an observation. Again, I've spoken to a lot of traders. I am a real trader myself. I'm not someone that just holds on to shit coins and hopes that they go to the moon. I actually trade these markets very regularly. And what you're seeing, what you're hearing from me is the result of that. So again, 50% off right now. You got to take advantage of it. Look at these results right here, paying off the fee in 4 days, paying off the yearly fee inside of less than a day. Again, this is the only plan that you get phone calls with me on. If you want to like actually jump on the phone with me, talk about what's going on, there's a lot we can do in those calls. We can set those up, and those are pretty much as you like. I mean, we don't have a limit on it, but you know, that's because nobody has ever abused it. I mean, we can literally do it whenever you like, usually just the very next day from when you request it. Taking a look at this chart right here, this is an important area of potential support. We can see that it worked a little bit for Bitcoin right here. Not very well, but we did see a little bit of a bounce for Bitcoin on this line. On this occasion, we saw a nice bounce. This was actually a very nice bounce that triggered a big rally. On this occasion, we failed the line and we ended up falling below. But on the next occasion, we got a little bit of a bounce up. It didn't really keep the trend up because we lost it, but then we came back up for another bounce and then we lost it again. It's not the most reliable line ever. I've got to be honest with you guys. It's not, but it is the 100-week moving average. And the reason I want to draw this to your attention right now is that even though it's got more or less, I mean, this is, let's count this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 successful hits out of and then it failed how many times? Once, twice, thrice. So I mean, you're looking at like 3 failures and 4 successes. It's really not that good. I don't know what ratio this is. It's a little bit over 50% success rate. It's not amazing. When I'm looking at an indicator, I want something a little bit better than this, especially over a wider data set. This is only 7 pieces of data, but big but right here, and I cannot stress this enough. In certain markets which are more mature, this is actually a very good thing. You know, when we have a certain market which has matured by quite a bit, let me put my webcam back on. You know, we can actually see that they respect moving averages like the 100 week pretty well. Let's see if I can show this to you on the S&P 500. I think 100 week might be a little bit too long term. Actually, no, it's okay. Let's zoom out. You can see how this has been pretty important for the S&P 500, right? And you're going to understand why I'm talking about this in just a moment. Wow, look at that. It's actually been really important for the S&P 500. We do fall below it, but I mean, if you just look at the amount of times that the S&P 500 has, you know, kind of bounced off this level, it's really impressive, honestly. I mean, it works out really well. Yes, we do drop below it sometimes, but again, when we use it as support, it's phenomenal. It really is very, very good. And the reason I want to show this to you is that Bitcoin right now is a maturing market. You like it or not, the market is maturing and it's working out really, really well. And so, it's not working out very, very well, but like in terms of how quickly it's maturing, it's happening quite quickly. And because of that, certain tools are going to be more useful than others as time goes on. And one of the quite predictable tools that can be more useful is a long-term round number moving average like the 100 week. And if we look at where it's sitting right now, it is at 31,600. I would expect at least a bounce off this level. I'm not saying that we get a major market reversal off this level. It doesn't need to happen, but even if we end up trading sideways around this moving average for the next little bit as it curves like this, and then maybe get a breakout to the upside and challenge 60k again, would be totally acceptable and would make a lot of sense in my opinion. So I just wanted to put this on your radar right here. It's lining up with an important level. Again, we have confluence here. This 31k, 30k area is a level that I've had drawn on the chart for a long time. Everybody has had this level drawn on the chart for a long time. And those of you who are subscribed, again, just make sure you are. Just double check it, because we're putting out so much valuable content and you will miss it if you're not subscribed. YouTube just won't recommend this content to you if you're not subscribed. And even then, because they have bad delivery systems, they might not recommend this content to you. So you need to make sure that you're ticking the bell. And for extra insurance, you can join the first link in the description down below. It's going to put you in 𝗓𝗡𝗧 Gold, which is my free Telegram channel with now over 21,000 members, where you get more analysis from me completely free of charge around the clock, pinged straight to your phone, and of course reminders of these videos. Not all of them, but most of the videos we do tell you about in 𝗓𝗡𝗧 Gold, only the important ones. What was my point here? I forgot. Shit, let me remember. I was talking about the moving averages, 31k support. Yes, the inverse chart. So, and I showed you the inverse chart the other day. I was basically pointing out how, you know, I was seeing that this market is quite overextended to the, in this case, the upside. You know, we've moved up very, very quickly. Even though we've now had a little bit of a correction, we've moved up very, very quickly. If you don't know what this is, you just need to go back and watch the previous video. I don't want to recap this too much, but basically what this does is it flips the chart upside down. It literally puts a mirror on the chart. So up here is the $12,000 range. Up here, down here is the 20k range. Again, literally just flipped with a mirror. This is when we hit 65k for the first time. This is when we hit 69k for the first time. You know, so it's just flipped the chart around. This is when we were hitting 30k for support, and we formed a little bit of a, you know, in this case it's a rising wedge, but previously it was a falling wedge pattern, and then we rocketed up all the way to 53, had a retracement, and then rocketed up all the way to 69. So hopefully this puts it into perspective for you. And all I'm saying here is that this was a very, very strong area of resistance. The market dropped down quite heavily at this price range. We're now rallying up into it with so much strength that it just makes total sense that if we do end up hitting that red line, for example, at 29k, that we have to get a bounce. And if we fall anywhere, if we rise anywhere in this range, basically, if I just draw a box that looks a little bit like this, stretching between $31.5 and $29,000, which is more or less the box that I already had drawn in the other chart, it would make sense that we catch a lot of resistance here. Whether that resistance takes us only down to minus $40,000 or whether that resistance takes us all the way down to say minus $70,000, I would expect some sort of reversal at this point. And again, like that lines, and again, like when you look at this chart, it just puts it all into perspective. I would recommend that if you didn't actually watch that video, that you go ahead on YouTube and watch that video right now. Let me just show you how to find it. Bear with me. Let's pull up the channel. It was one of the recent Bitcoin analysis videos, which was... Oh wow, I've made a lot of videos, haven't I, these past couple of days? Cannot find it. Which one was it? Very strange. This one right here. This Bitcoin chart will change how you view everything. How you view Bitcoin completely. 30,000 views, so pretty cool. Thank you for the support, by the way, guys. Really appreciate you guys hitting up the likes and just, you know, showing me that you appreciate these videos. It's really very, very nice of you all. So thank you all for that. But yeah, definitely showing us something quite similar right here, where yeah, I mean, you know, we were able to expect a little bit of, you know, resistance in this range before dropping down. I think that is what we can do. It's what we did last time. I think it's what we can be doing again right now. So again, that bottom range definitely making a lot of sense. All right, guys, I'm going to be heading off for this one. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope it's helped you out, told you a little bit more about where we're going, giving you a little bit more of a, you know, kind of shining light on what's going on in this market right now. If it has, do me a favor. You already know what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. You're getting free money when you sign up to Bybit, $4,100. Obviously, only for experienced traders. Don't do it if you're, you know, if you don't really know what's going on. If you want to learn about what's going on, there's a video linked in the description where you can actually learn how to trade the way I do as a total beginner. All the mechanics explained to you in that video. It's free and it's a big video, so definitely make sure that you only watch it if you're serious. If you want to be very serious and actually watch me trading in real time, you want to get access to more analysis from myself and my team around the clock. Literally everything that I do, every single little bit of information about every trade that I want to make goes straight into VIP. It is the fully comprehensive you know, insight into what my trading looks like. I mean, you're literally getting every detail of what I do, except for, of course, my order value. So if you want to see that, the way you can join is by reaching out, following these steps on screen right here, by following these 3 clicks. And it is, like I said, 50% off right now. We've had beautiful results this month. Again, I've got to highlight this to you. This person paying off the fee within 4 days for her quarterly membership. This guy paying off his yearly fee within less than a day. So unfortunately, he steals the limelight a little bit. It is funny. We get VIP members competing with each other about who can make the most money in the shortest space of time, which is very funny. I think they just want to get featured on the videos. Quite cute. I like it. Healthy competition. So definitely reach out following these steps on screen if you want to see how these people have been able to pull it off. There's a long list of benefits that you get when you join Forthlight's VIP, and if you don't know about them yet, then it's worth reaching out during this 50% discount. You're going to get all the information right now when you reach out. We're online right now. I'm online, and if I'm not, one of my assistants will respond to you as well. But this is a direct chat with me where you can ask any question you have and so on, and we can walk you through this, make sure that you would be a good fit for Forthlight's VIP. Really hope you have enjoyed this one. Once again, you know what to do, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.